I am going to need all of you collectively to stop ignoring your intuition. I think we've all have experienced some situation in life where we didn't listen to our intuition, and because we didn't listen to it, something bad happened and we're like, "Oh crap, like I knew that was going to happen. Why didn't I listen?" Have you ever got invited to something and your intuition just told you don't go, or you were going to walk into a certain place or drive in a certain area and your intuition was like, don't go down that route, and you ignore that voice and you go anyways, and then something bad happens? It's so important to intuitively listen, because your intuition is never wrong, ever. So just make your life easier and listen to it now. Many times when I would predict things before happening, people would ask me, how did you know that was going to play out? Number one, because of my abilities. I can see, right? Second, I've mastered pattern recognition skills. So because I had to learn how to recognize pattern as a survival method, people's patterns, I more or less can look at a situation and debunk what's going on. That's why when I have girl chats and guy chats, I'm able to listen to you guys' stories step by step, or what you're sharing, and I can come to a conclusion because I'm going to look for a pattern there. Pattern recognition saves lives. And once you understand patterns, once you understand the patterns of people, once you understand how humans operate and how they respond to certain things, people are not going to catch you by surprise. If people are still catching you by surprise, you're still getting shocked. You don't even understand, why is that happening? I don't understand this. You're getting shocked. You still haven't worked on pattern recognition yet, because people usually operate in the same ways. Usually when you're going to get fired at a job, it's not going to come out of nowhere. People are going to start being weird. Your manager is going to start being short with you. Your manager is going to stop leaving you out of emails. People are going to stop smiling with you. People in the office are going to start avoiding you. Like, once you understand pattern recognition, humans become very easy to read. And when people are easy to read, it's easy for you to not be their stake. We're going to talk about this in the Life Monopoly class on Sunday. Pattern recognition. You can't win in the game of life if you can't recognize patterns, baby. If I always tell people, if a certain scenario happens, yes, you heal, you move on from it, but you learn from that scenario. So if what happened in that scenario starts to appear in another way and with another person, you can start to be like, wait a minute. Hold up, please. Hold, please. I've seen this before. I've actually seen this a couple times. And I think I know what's going to play out here. Just like with dating, I always tell women, if the texts are getting shorter with you, it's because they're getting longer with someone else. So the minute that guy starts to pull back, that should be your signal, because it already happened to you before. That, okay, there's another chick in the picture. All right, cool. Charge it to the game. Charge it to the game. And that's another thing that I always tell people. You have to learn how to charge things to the game. Meaning it is what it is. This is a human doing what a human does. If somebody sells you out or swaps you out for a better deal, don't take it personal. You should just charge it to the game, because a human is usually going to do that. Even if they hurt you in the process, it's all about what they want, because they're innately selfish. You have to grow out of being self-serving. They are innately selfish. So there are no morals when it's time for them to switch you out to get what they want. They will put you on the cutting board and not even feel bad about it, as long as they get what they want, right? And we're going to talk about that in the Life Monopoly Master classes. You guys understanding that, humans have patterns, pattern recognition. Once you understand patterns, there's nothing that anyone can do to surprise you. Mind games don't work on the wise. I have mastered my ability to read humans, to read people, to understand scenarios. So I'm on game. I usually know what you're doing. I may not say it. I may not show you that I know what you're doing, but I know. And once you think you got me, I'm going to strike. right? Because I know, I can read, I can see what you're doing, I can see the patterns. Mind games don't work on the wise, right? So the biggest challenge that I believe, let me talk to the women for a second. Ladies, I think the gentlemen, fellas, you guys kind of have this down pat, but I got to talk to the women for a second. Ladies, you need to learn how to stop repainting the picture. You are not Picasso. Stop. What you see is what it is. I tell women, I feel like women are always trying to find an outlet. Or, oh, well, maybe they didn't do that. Or maybe they didn't mean it. Or maybe he's not texting me. Ma'am, you're better off accepting the reality, making the necessary arrangements, and moving on. Because you're wasting time trying to repaint this person. You're wasting time trying to repaint the situation. And all you're going to do is dig a ditch for yourself of disappointment. I always tell women, I see women, you guys do this all the time, where you're trying to tap dance or backpedal when the answer is right in front of you. You just don't want to accept it. You don't want to accept it. So even me, I've struggled with that in my past too, because I'm still a woman. And I had to learn how to tell myself, Mel, you're trying to talk yourself out of this. You need to stop. It is what it is. It is what it is. And you got to move on. Whatever it is, you have to move on or make your necessary arrangements, because it's not changing and they're not changing. So what's next, right? So pattern recognition helps you because people can't play mind games on you. If you are able to recognize certain behaviors, patterns, signals, body language. What do I tell you, ladies, when you guys call me on girl chats and we try to debunk situations? I always tell you, ladies, okay, let's look for a pattern. When did this start happening? How? Why? What conversation was had? How did they look at you? What was their body language? Because the pattern is always there. As women, we just dismiss it because women have a people-pleasing tendency. So women, they don't want to upset people for whatsoever reason, because a lot of women live in a perpetual state of an inferiority complex while men live in a perpetual state of superiority. What do I say? Women always feel inferior. Men always feel superior. That is the baseline of most genders. Women always want to feel validated. They always want to feel accepted. They want to always feel like they belong. They always want to feel acknowledged. And men are on an ego trip all the time. They always want to feel like they're in charge. They always want to feel like they're number one. They always want to feel like they are the smartest. Because of women's inferiority complex, they tend to ignore patterns and ignore negative hostile behaviors because they want to hold on to the relationship and they don't want to look quote unquote mean. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have street smarts, I don't really know what to tell you, because you're going to get chewed up out here in these streets. If you don't have street smarts, then just don't embed yourself with humans too much, because they're gonna knock you out Mike Tyson style. So if you don't know how to recognize patterns, how to recognize behaviors in people, you are up for a rude awakening. Okay, street smarts is pattern recognition. Oh, well, do you have a book on that, Mel? No. Do you have a book you can recommend? No. Look at your life. Look at it. From the time you were able to put 2 and 2 together and realize that 2 and 2 together is 4, pay attention to your life and the lessons are there. I didn't learn what I know from a book. I've read great books that definitely extended my knowledge, but I didn't learn what I learned from a book. I just kept observing people and I kept trying my best to protect myself from them. And I protect myself from people by learning their patterns and ensuring that I'm not about to be a victim of a pattern, a negative pattern that somebody is trying to inflict on me. And we'll talk about this in the Life Monopoly class this Sunday at 7. What's going on with those pattern recognition skills? Are you able? I always tell, and a good question I always ask people to know if your pattern recognition skills have developed is I always ask you guys, are you able to spot a narcissist? You said you had a narcissist mom. Yes. Then you had a narcissist husband. Yes. Then you had a narcissist best friend. Yes. Okay. So it looks like there may be a pattern recognition problem here because now you're on narcissist number 4. So the 3 narcissists before, you didn't gather much data because if you did, you would be able to spot one just off their behaviors because they're all the same. But many people, you're just experiencing life. You're not learning from life. That's the problem. Do not forget to sign up for Life Monopoly. Okay, we have 6 months left until 2026, so this is definitely not the time to play any games. Life Monopoly is probably one of the favorite courses I've created because in this course, we are going to discuss every single part of your life that needs your focus. Life is like a pie. There's the financial aspect, there's your romantic relationships, there's your friendships, there's your spirituality, there's your self-introspection. And the problem is, since we were in school and college, we were never taught the pie method when it comes to life and how we need to focus on each and every part of our life evenly. We got 6 months left, so this is not the time to waste. Get your life together with the Life Monopoly Masterclass. Finance Boss. Are you feeling like you cannot keep up with your finances? Your savings account is really dry. It's looking really dry. You don't know where your money is going, and you simply can't keep up. First of all, we're going to talk about the spirit of riches in the Finance Boss Masterclass. Yes, there is a lot of spiritual reasoning behind how money works. There's the physical aspect and there's a spiritual aspect. And in this class, we are going to discuss both to make sure that we get you financially where you need to be with the mentality that is necessary to keep your finances in order.